And our last one is Galatians chapter 4, verse 9. It says this, "But now that you know God, or rather are known by God, how is it that you are turning back to those weak and miserable principles? Do you wish to be enslaved by them all over again? You are observing special days and months and seasons and years." Ladies and gentlemen, it is critical that we understand the context. So let's go to verse 8. It says, "Formerly, when you did not know God." So what we're saying here, or what we are supposed to believe in Galatians chapter 4, is that the Gentiles, Paul is rebuking the Gentiles for going back to Judaism. He's rebuking them for going back to the Sabbath. When the fact is, right here in verse 8, it says that they never knew God. Matter of fact, it says even further than that, that they served other gods. These were pagan Gentiles. These were Gentiles that were in polytheistic belief structure, and in every cultic society in the first century, and still today, every cult had their own Sabbath, their own new moons, their own festivals and feast days. And he's saying, listen, you just came out of a religious structure that totally put you in bondage through those horrible earthly man-made doctrines and principles. If you do what the circumcision party is telling you to do, and you believe that you can only be saved by doing the things that they tell you to do and keeping the Sabbath the way that they tell you to keep it, and you rely on that for your salvation, then you're going back to the same exact disgusting principles that you were in pagan polytheistic cultism. These were Gentiles, ladies and gentlemen. They were not Jews. How can they go back to something that they never observed before? And you know, one of the biggest proofs that the Sabbath is definitely still valid for today is the proof of silence. The Sabbath was the most important and staple law of the Jews. If Paul or Yeshua would have been teaching against it or broke it in any way, they would have immediately been brought out into the court and charged and stoned. And while we're on this topic, I don't have a slide for this, but several times Yeshua was falsely accused that he actually broke the Sabbath. But every single one of those, in a more careful observation, you'll come to the conclusion that he was not breaking the Torah at all. He was breaking their laws, the extra laws that they had added to the Torah. He never broke his Father's word. He said he kept it perfectly. And matter of fact, if he would have broken one of the Sabbath laws, he would not have qualified to be our Messiah, because to be the Messiah, he must be sinless. Come and join us as we travel back in time 4,000 years ago to discover exactly where the holidays of Christmas, Easter, and even Valentine's Day come from. Why do we celebrate the birth of Jesus on December 25th? Whose birthday really is on December 25th? Where did we come up with December 25th? Where did the star on top of the Christmas tree come from? Where did the Christmas tree itself come from? Where did St. Nicholas come from? Are we sure that St. Nicholas even existed? Have you ever wondered where the famous phrase, ho, 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 comes from? It comes from the late 1600s when they used to have plays, and before the devil would come on stage, he would announce himself by saying, ho, ho, ho. Did you know that original Santa's elves weren't little guys that made toys? They were Krampus demons that would punish the children if they weren't good for that year, while St. Nicholas would give them gifts if they were good. Who is the Easter Bunny? Where did we get Easter eggs from? Why do we celebrate Easter on the first Sunday after the vernal equinox? Did you know that Christmas was illegal in the United States until the mid-1800s? Can we celebrate these holidays according to the Bible? This is by far the most popular video on the internet on the history of Christmas and Easter. This video has changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives, and it will change your life too.